Warren Buffett, one of the greatest investors in history and a man with immense wisdom, once said, "It is often too late to break free from bad habits." We all know this experience of investing effort into something yet not yielding any results, or making progress towards our goals no matter what we do. This can lead us to become desperate and fall back on old patterns that ultimately hold us back indefinitely until we recognize them for their true nature, as enemies dragging us down relentlessly despite our efforts otherwise. To change this, desired outcomes must be achieved by replacing problematic behaviors with new empowering ones, creating a domino effect which eventually leads you closer to your dreams. Welcome to my channel. 12. Lack of routine. With a lack of a routine, people can quickly find themselves feeling overwhelmed and unable to seem to make progress. What starts as a small distraction like answering emails in the evening can lead to a complete breakdown of healthy boundaries between work and personal life. To get back on track and start seeing results again, it is important to prioritize healthy routines that allow for both necessary self-care as well as work time. This means having dedicated time set aside each day for things like exercise, meal times, and mental breaks. In establishing this kind of routine, individuals can not only ensure they are working efficiently but also enjoy their leisure time without feeling guilty or overwhelmed. 11. Perfectionism. Perfectionism is often seen as a noble quality, pushing yourself to achieve the very highest standards. But, in reality, striving for perfection can be detrimental to your mental health and ability to progress. Having an impractically high standard of performance or expectations on yourself leads to disappointment, demoralization, and a feeling of being overwhelmed by your own goals, which can prevent you from accomplishing anything at all. Striving for perfection without ever achieving it can be exhausting and draining. If you are haunted by perfectionsim, remember that believing in yourself and having achievable goals are more important than having a vision of unattainable greatness. 10. Staying up late and not getting enough sleep. We've all been there, trying to catch up with our favorite series or staying up late to put in extra hours of work. Deep down we know it's bad for us and can negatively impact our progress, but sometimes we just can't say no. Scientists have proven that not getting enough sleep affects our memory, consolidation, cognitive performance, and even our ability to concentrate. But this doesn't mean you should resort to sleeping more and less productive hours of the day. Learning the importance of timing your sleep is the smarter way go. Think twice before you stay up all night, as it may well set you back your goals. Get enough rest and ensure you're prepared for whatever lies ahead. 9. Multitasking. Of all the bad habits, multitasking can be a dangerous bad habit that can sabotage your progress and slow cognitive processing. You may even think you're multitasking to save time, but it will actually have the opposite effect. Not only is your efficiency reduced, but you also end up with several incomplete tasks and a feeling of false confidence in your skill. If multitasking has become an unfortunate part of your daily routine, the best way to break this habit is to batch similar tasks together and complete one task before moving on to the next, otherwise, you may suffer from long-term stress. Fortunately, with conscious effort and dedication, multitasking can eventually become a thing of the past as you regain control over your progress. 8. Planning overcomplicated. Over-planning and creating an overly complex to-do list is a common pitfall. People assume that it equates to progress, when in reality it can be quite the opposite. Planning a list of tasks that are too long and difficult can take up more time and energy than necessary, creating more of a strain than it cuts off. It's often more productive to work on smaller lists with just enough tasks for incentive and satisfaction. That way, we can ensure that completing things is easier and our goals become far more achievable, unlocking doors we would have originally locked because of our overcomplicated plans. 7. Procrastination. Procrastinating can be a difficult habit to break, but it's essential if you want to make the most of your potential and reach your goals. When we procrastinate, we put off important tasks until they become too overwhelming or urgent to handle. This only leads to increased stress levels and reduced productivity. The key to conquering procrastination is to focus on the task at hand and break it down into manageable chunks. By tackling problems in small, achievable steps, we can reduce our fear of failure, as well as get the job done faster and more efficiently. 6. Indiscipline. Consistently finding the motivation to adhere to regulations and keep yourself disciplined can be an uphill battle, but it is worth it in the end. Building self-discipline ultimately helps you build the habit of working even when you don't feel motivated, like studying for important exams or meeting deadlines. It may not seem like much at first, but when willpower meets determination and dedication, the results speak for themselves. The process of actively cultivating self-discipline requires a shift in perspective, toward making decisions that will lead towards long-term success. Practicing the discipline of self-control is never easy, but it's worth striving for in order to reap its benefits both now and in the future. 5. Comparison. Comparing yourself to the success of those around you can be a distracting and discouraging exercise in futility. It is true, we are all unique and work in our own individual ways, and, at times, it might be difficult to see someone else's path as a benchmark for ourselves. While trying to beat others can give us short-term gains, it may sabotage us in the long run because our goals are all different. When seeking progress and growth, it's far more beneficial to stay focused on your own personal goals than attempt to outrun others. Ultimately, self-improvement is about surpassing your former self rather than eclipsing the accomplishments of another. For trying to do it all and not delegating work. It's easy to get caught up with taking on too many tasks, especially when you are the head of a team. Although having confidence in your own ability to take care of everything is admirable, it can quickly lead to overwhelm and negatively affect your performance. Delegating work to those who are more equipped to handle it is essential for successfully completing projects. Not only does delegation allow you to manage the bigger picture, but it also brings about better results, since people with specialized knowledge will be primarily responsible for specific tasks. When it comes down to it, knowing when and how to delegate work is key for maximum efficiency and productivity. 3. Not learning from mistakes. Taking responsibility for one's actions is an essential component of personal growth, and can only be achieved if mistakes are made. Making mistakes means that people have the opportunity to learn and grow rather than simply staying stagnant in their lives. Refusing to learn from errors, however, can be detrimental as it stops them from being exposed to different ways of thinking or operating. The failure to take accountability and make something valuable out of a mistake can actually stunt progress, limiting our potential instead of helping us reach it like we're supposed to be doing. That's why it's so important for us all to accept our missteps, and use them as a learning opportunity rather than throwing up our hands in dismay when setbacks occur. 2. Indecision and self-doubt. Indecision and self-doubt can often be overwhelming, tempting us to overanalyze every situation. While it is only natural to weigh our options carefully, if done too excessively, we can end up spending too much of our energy and willpower. No doubt it's important to take a step back, assess the situation, and come to a conclusion that you are comfortable with, but it is equally important not to get bogged down by uncertainty. There will always be uncertain moments in life, all of which require wisdom and reflection. However, don't allow yourself or your project to become victims of unnecessary indecision. Set yourself the goal to move from consideration to action in a relatively short space of time, so that you may make great use out of the precious mental capacity available for contributions that you deem truly important. 1. Can't tolerate criticism. Criticism can be valuable when it comes to improving yourself, but it's all too easy to allow a harsh word or two derail your progress and hard work. To help minimize this from happening, it's important to keep calm and focus on what the comment is trying to suggest rather than how it made you feel. When you are able to look at it objectively, you will likely find that the criticism has merit, and can generally provide a helpful guide for how to approach the situation differently in the future. If we adjust our perspective slightly and see criticism as an opportunity for growth, then accepting comments in a constructive manner becomes easier and helps us reach our goals more quickly. The truth is, personal growth and progress comes from challenging ourselves to get better than we were yesterday, and that's what life is all about. By being mindful of these common pitfalls, you can push yourself beyond your limits and truly reach the heights of potential that are attainable. So don't be afraid to make mistakes, learn from them, and keep striving for more. The best is yet to come. But wait, there's more. To thank you for sticking with us until the end of this video, and because we like saying thank you, here is a bonus. Not managing stress. When we feel like nothing is going our way, or that life has thrown a major roadblock at us, feeling overwhelmed and frazzled can be our go-to. To be successful in spite of these difficulties, though, to reach for the goals we have set for ourselves, managing stress is key. It can be hard to find motivation when there's so much noise from outside sources, both internally and externally. But when it comes down to it, success is all about our ability to regulate our sleeves as well as put in the effort necessary for growth. By recognizing when you're feeling stressed and actively finding ways to channel this into something productive, you will reach your goals faster than ever before and achieve things beyond what you thought possible. Hey, we're so glad you took the time out of your busy day to watch today's video. If it resonated with any part or all, don't forget to subscribe. If this was something worth watching, we'll see you soon.